Chav Ches Amud Aleph on the bottom. Chav Ches Amud Aleph. There's going to be a bunch of interesting stories, and then there's going to be a bunch of interesting riddles. And the riddles are actually, not to scare anyone, but pretty hefty stuff to understand. And I guess we're going to go on a journey here together.
Story with the kids with the Yerusha to go with the chickens?
No. That's like a Shalmi. It's a story with a Shalmi kid.
Yeah.
Some they gave him a chicken and the thing.
Divided the family.
Any stories about the Shiva Hospital?
No story about the Shiva. Yeah, there is actually a story about the Shiva Hospital. I wasn't sure if to put it in the text, but there's a famous Yiddish song about the guy that's selling the Kapitcha Kovche Papilosin. There's a song that was by Papilosin, and it's such a negative, morbid song. In the middle, it's like, and if you don't buy Papilosin, I'm always going to be a hund. I'm going to die like a dog in the street. So the Gemara is talking about people dying in the street also. So this is little nishmas. This is le didoin nishmas. These Arabs terrorists will get in the eld. We're b'chol makom shehem. Amen. Okay, so the Gemara we are holding Daf Chav Ches Amud Aleph Rav Se'odim. That's his name. I did not make it up. Rav Se'odim. Se'odim is barley technically, but Rav Se'odim was the brother of Rava. It's Rav Se'odim. There's a Tosfos El b'Mazla Tal Miltza. So in the middle of that Tosfos is a Ladat Rav Se'odim. Rav Se'odim Achua de Rava Havarav. So we were talking in past. We're talking about how long a person lives, and if he is sick one day, if he's sick 2 days, if he's sick 3 days, and if he gets to an older age. Of Chizda passed away at 90 something, 92. Here the Gemara speaks about a bunch of people that passed away. They were about to pass away, and these Tzadikim had the koyach. They had the power to speak to the Malach Hamaves, the angel of death. They had the power to speak to him, and it comes to the last days, and they had the Malach Hamaves had power over them. They weren't able to tell the Malach Hamaves, the angel of death, anything. The Rav Rava was the brother of Rav Se'odim Achod Rava Hava. He was the brother of Rava. Hava Yosef came to Rava. He was sitting in front of Rava. Okay, he was sitting in front of Rava. Chazeh Rav Se'odim saw that his brother, the Hava Kamanamnim, he is dozing off, his final doze. He's going to sleep forever, and he realized that the end is near. Amalei, so Rava turns to Rav Se'odim and tells him, Lema, please, Rav Se'odim, tell the Malach Hamaves, tell the angel of death, the Malach Hamaves, the loy litzad, and I should not have pain when someone passes away. Apparently there is pain. I don't want to have that pain. Amalei, so Rav Se'odim answered his brother, Ma lav sheshvinahu, aren't you, my brother, aren't you a close friend? Sheshvina is a mechutin, like someone very close, a relative to someone close with the Malach Hamaves. You can talk to him, you would tell him yourself. Amalei, so Rava told him, Kivan the imsa mazla, the moment my mazel, my luck, my star was given over to the Malach Hamaves. Le'ashkach with the Malach Hamaves does not rechnet sich nicht mit mir. It doesn't have a cheshbon. He can do whatever he wants. I have no say in the matter anymore, and therefore you tell him. So he saw the end is near. Amalei Rav Se'odim told to Rav and told him, Lischaze limal, please, my master, reveal yourself to me after he passed away. I want to know what happened. Ischaze, he passed away, and Rava showed himself to Rav Se'odim in a dream. And what happened was, Amalei, he asked him, Havelei lematzah, did you have pain? Was the pain of death, was it painful? Amalei, he said, the pain for him, because he was a tzaddik, was kirivna de kosilta, is as it was when you prick, for the diabetic gets a prick, when you check the blood gets a prick, when you put the bankers, as they used to say in English, you put these the thing to suck blood. These are small pricks. They said kirivna de kosilta, it was as pricking a person's body. That's how little the pain was. It was painful, but it was how little it was for this tzaddik. I believe the Magudas Mashah says here, what's going on with the neshama coming, revealing himself after they pass away. So there's a body, there's a neshama, and there's a ruach. The ruach is the wind or the spirit. The spirit flies in the worlds, between the worlds. So the neshama goes to the Shemaim, the body gets put on the ground, and the ruach floats. And the ruach is the one that what's it called? And we say also in Minor Lashon. What do we say that? We say
Lubi.
Yeah.
That's all I remember.
They said about the ruach also. It mentions the ruach, the spirit, many times because the neshama goes lamaila, the body goes lamata. The ruach is the one who's mashaitet, is the one that flies around, that floats around. So this is what Mashra says when you have a story where someone is being asked to reveal himself in a dream. Usually, that is because of the ruach. The same thing happened to another guy. Rava, this is going back now a few generations. Rava was sitting next to his friend. Rava Ab Yosef came Rav Nachman, was sitting by Rav Nachman. Chazir Kamadam, and he saw that he was dozing off to sleep, to go forever. Amalei, Rav Nachman turned to Rava and told him, please tell the master, please tell the Malach Hamaves, the loyal tzad, I should not have pain, the pain of death. Amalei, so he told him, aren't you an important person that you yourself can tell the Malach Hamaves, the angel, not to hurt me? Amalei, he says, I'm going to a place where over there, man choshev. What does it mean to be important? Man sofin. Here we don't know what sofin means, so you have to look in Tosfos. Choshev means now. Who is important now? Sofin means who is important tomorrow or in the future. Man rekia, Zaktois is the next one. Who is complete? In the world to come, everyone is the same. Everything is the same. I'm not any more chashav than anyone else. I'm coming to the Olam Emes. It's not counted. A lot of the chashivas in this world, a lot of the importance, VIP status in this world is not counted. You're not coming with any mileage. You're not coming with any points. Yeah, you could come with points. Tzedakah points. You can't come with,
With the socks, right? You can't come with the socks. The fake, what's his face story? Rothschild. The real fake
story. Yeah. They put him to the cave. So Amalei, so the Rava turned to Rav Nachman and he saw the end is near. He told him, please reveal yourself to me. Ischazalei, after he passed away, Ischazalei, he showed himself. Amalei, he asked him, did the master have any pain? Amalei, he answered him, Kimishchal b'nisa mechalbo, as if when you have to remove hair from milk. What's the pain? The pain is usually a tiny little hair floats around the milk to fish it out. You try until you get it out. That's the pain. It's not a painful thing, but it's annoying. It's annoying. Here's the famous mashal that maybe stop the camera. You heard the Jigan and Schumacher, right? I mean, you heard the Jigan and Schumacher. Jigan and Schumacher was two Jewish comedians, very funny. The 1950s, 60s, 70s. They were very, very good. And one was trying to explain the concept of the relativity of Einstein. So he wanted to explain it. He says, relative is something is relative to something else. It says 7 here on your head is little, it's nothing. 7 here in the milk is a lot. So he's trying to explain the thing. So here, 7, if you have here in the milk, to pull that out is a kind of a pain. So but it wasn't very painful because it was a tzaddik. And he said, even though the pain was not so great, if the Eibush should have told me, Zil go back to the world that you just came from, Kad Havis, where you were just coming from, Loi Be'ina would not go, the Nafish Be'isusi, the anxiety and the not uncertainty, being scared, the fear of the Malach Hamaves when you encounter him is so great. Even though I know the pain of death is not so big, but the fear of encountering the Malach Hamaves is so great, I don't want to experience that ever again. What?
The shot by the doctor, kids are.
The shot is nothing. The doctor itself, the doctor is scary, not the shot. Yeah.
Does he have a death sickle, or we're not up to there yet?
No, not there yet. V'i amal, sagt mal weiter. Rabbi Lazar haben.
Now he started reading it during the share.
Rabbi Lazar haben geachil tuma. Rabbi Lazar was eating tuma. He was a kohen. He was eating tuma. Is Chazalei the Malach Hamaves showed himself up and says, "Okay, the timer is up. Gotta go." Amalei, so Rabbi Lazar turns him tuma kochen. I'm eating tuma. Lav kodesh, isn't tuma called kodesh? And you're not supposed to eat it when you're tummy. If you kill me now, the tuma will become tummy. Fast. How are you gonna go be mitame? You're gonna cause tuma to be impure. That doesn't work. So listen to him. Cholfa le'shaita, and his time passed, meaning he got an extension. And it says he lived quite a few years after that. Avsheishes, this only helps the kehanim. So yeah, Avsheishes.
Solid,
You see the Malach Hamaves.
Also,
And you have to eat truma.
Tzvi told me he believes everybody sees them at some point.
could be.
Before you
We
die.
discussed it last week.
Before you die.
I don't know if I saw the cousin of the Malach Hamaves 2 times in this street. Anyways, Avsheishes is Chazalei b'shuk. Avsheishes, the Malach Hamaves appeared to him in the market. Avsheishes said, "Amalei, the shuka, you want to kill me in the market? Kibehema, like an animal? What am I, an animal? Like you're gonna kill me like an animal?" He said, "Like come to my house. Have a coffee and then do business." Ashi is Chazalei b'shuk. Ashi also, the Malach Hamaves appeared in the market. Amalei, he told him, Ashi was the one that compiled the Gemara, right? Ashi was one of the last Ramadan. He told them, please give me 30 days. Why? And I'm going to redo my learning. Because I know it says that it's being said up there. Praises the person that comes to Lamaila, comes to Shemaim, and he has his learning in his hand. And I want to review my learning. 30 days are up, he comes. Amalei, he told him, Michael, what are you rushing? Give me some time. So he answered him, the person that is going to take over your position in leading the Jewish nation from now on, his name was Ban Nasan, the son of Nasan. And the Ve'ein Malchus Nagaz Bechavet, and in one kingdom cannot touch another not kingdom, and one time of a king cannot touch the other king, even the breath of a
Hair's breadth.
yes, hair. Thank you. So therefore you have to go, and the next guy's got to take over. Your time has come, and he passed away. Now Chizda, we said Chizda was before. We said he was 92 years old when he passed away. Now Chizda was a tzaddik. He was sitting and learning constantly. The Malach Hamaves could not overpower Chizda because he was learning. So he was learning constantly. Salik, he set himself. Yosef Ba'azar set himself in a tree, in a cedar tree. The Bedav in the chutz over there, in the garden. Palka Azam, the tree split, and he looked up for a second to see what's going on. V'shosak, v'yachalei, and the Malach Hamaves was able to overpower him. The similar story is by David HaMelech. Also, the Malach Hamaves was not able to overpower Avchia. He wasn't able to get close to him. Yom Echad, one day he showed himself he had a job to do, and he tries, it's not happening. So one day he came up with a plan. Yom Echad, Idmalei Kahanya, he showed himself like a poor person. Also, the Malach Hamaves came dressed up like a poor person. Tadif Ababi, he's knocking on the door of Avchia. Amalei, he told the Malach Hamaves tells Avchia, Afik L'Rifta, please bring me out a piece of bread. He brought him a piece of bread constantly while he was learning. Amalei, so the Malach Hamaves turns to him, I see that you have a lachmanas on a poor person. Why don't you have a lachmanas on me? I have a job to do. Who gavla on this person on himself? Why don't you have lachmanas on me to let me do my job? Galilei, he revealed himself to him. No, he did not have a sickle. He had a stick made out of fire to show that he is the Malach Hamaves. Amtzi le'nafshei, and Rav Chizda gave his life over to him. The Meforshim asked a question here. We said just above. If someone passes away within a day, it's like a punishment type of thing. Someone usually 5 days. Of Chizda
We learned
passed
that
away.
last week.
But the answer is within the story itself. If Chizda was 92 years old, we already said that someone passes 70 years, then dying on the same day is actually a blessing, not a curse, not a curse. Tzadikim Gemara weiter.
Once they're old, it's.
Here, we're going to see a machloikas whether this Mishnah is the last Mishnah in the entire Seder Noshim, or whether it's not. It's a machloikas in Meforshim, machloikas in Meforshim and Rishonim, whether this is the last Mishnah or not. Let's see the Mishnah. Noshim, woman. Here to say this is not only woman, it means men as well, but usually it was a job of the woman to wail and cry. So it says Noshim and Chalamoyed, Ma'anis and Velay Metapchos. They can cry and mourn, but they cannot. We said before last week, they Metapchos mean clapping their hands together. This Tanakh says, you can never clap your hands on Chalamoyed, you can only cry. Shmuel says, Hasmucha is limited Metapchos. The ones that are very close to the bed, yes, they do the regular types of mourning, clapping hands as well. The ones that are a little further, no, he agrees with the Tanakh that not. This is Chalamoyed. Chalamoyed is a yontiv that has certain aspects of the Rabbanan, certain aspects of the Laisa, but the concept of Chalamoyed technically is the Laisa. Chodesh, Chanukah Purim is all the Rabbanan. Chodesh is mentioned in the Torah, but the halachas are not as strict as Shabbos and as Yontiv. We are allowed to do Malach, allowed to do everything. They're allowed to do whatever they usually do, clap their hands, cry. Va'abat, and they don't do kinui. And we're going to see in a second what the difference between inui and kinui. Nikvar ames, as soon as the body is buried, they cannot do any type of inui or patching the hand together, clapping the hand together. What's inui? Everyone answers, cries together. They all cry in unison. They cry. Kino, what's a kino? One says, and all the guys say, give out. That's the kino. When they one screams the whole thing, and everyone answers. Shenema, how do we know that this is called kino? This is called inu. Shenema v'lamdeina b'nei seichem. Teach all your daughters, and as one, teach them nehi. Nehi is inui, crying together. So all as one, he cry. But kina says ve'isha the uso. A woman should teach her friend kina, which means one woman tells another one, and the other one answers. So isha the uso means kina when someone says and the other answers. But nehi, crying, that's when everyone does it together. The Mishnah finishes up with something good because we're talking about death. It says, Bila Hamaves lo netzach, the Eibishter will swallow the death forever. Umocha Hashem elikim dimu me'al kaponim, the Eibishter will wipe away tears from all faces.
Amen.
Zogt Rashi beloy Pirush. There's no Pirush on the Mishnah. I don't know why they added it in here, but as I state on Rashi, it's so interesting. Yeah, it says beloy Pirush. There's no Pirush in this Rashi. The Rebbe actually writes, as many write, that the Rashi here, was mentioned in the beginning, the Rashi here is not Rashi himself, as we see the Machlokas in the Gemara and the Shonim many times brings down that the Rashi said, and it's not the Rashi, we don't see it here. And the Rashi is really found in Ein Yaakov and other places, and these Gemaras, Baruch Hashem, they added it in the bottom. And here the Rashi in the bottom, the Rashi Ksav Yoshna, if you guys, where it is in your particular Gemara, every Gemara looks a little different, but it's in the bottom, Masnisen, and Aval Osla, V'Bila Mavaz Netzach, so the Rashi, skip the parentheses.
It's over here.
But
It says we're
printed on Chafetz.
So yours is here, someone else is somewhere else.
Yeah.
So you don't even have that. No, next. Why is he? You were mentioning about that. What is he putting in such an ending? Because don't stop in a bad thing. The entire Moed is done with this Moed Katan. Say that Mishnah Moed Katan b'Sleif Kol Moed. Say that the Mishnah in Seder Mishnah is Moed Katan at the end. Tosfos Bila Mavas says the same thing. Top Tosfos, because I want to finish something good. And the Tosfos goes in and basically says the reason why this the Yaakov Merleinish. The next Gemara would be Vamis. If Moed Katan is the last Gemara, then the first Gemara in Nashim would be a Vamis. Vamis starts about woman dying, and she shouldn't be starting with death either. But basically, they're connected because Moed Katan speaks all about death. Therefore, Yavamis starts with death. Here we also see that Yavamis and Moed Katan are connected together. That's Tosis. But he brings. Not here, but maybe the Mashah. Where did I see? He brings that the Rambam, and accordingly, we actually look, because we see in the Gemara that it's not this way. That the Rambam holds that Moed Katan is actually not the last one. Chagiga is the last. Say that in Mishnayos. See, the Rambam Kosam says Chagiga so said the Moed. Rambam writes. So how they set up the Gemara. My Amon. When the women cry, what do they say? Omar Rav said, they say, Vaile Azola, Vaile Chavila. Woe is to the person that leaves and the Neshama that goes, and now this person has to return a package that he got. He was given a Neshama to hold, it was given a Neshama to take care of, and he has to bring back this package. Vaile Chavila, it's like a package. Omar Rav Gazak. Who told us all these different type of things we should say when someone passes away? There was a place called Shachan Siv. I could not figure out where this place is. It says somewhere in Iraq. And the women there were very smart, and they spoke in full riddles. And
this is the Shiva Hospital you're talking about?
No, the Shiva Hospital is the dying of the dog, of the behemoth. So there they said the Nishei the Shachan Siv Amon, the woman of Shachan Siv would say this type of thing, Vaila Zala.
Maybe you probably know where it is, no?
It's somewhere in Iraq. We're going to mention a few things that the woman of the Shachan Siv said, and you have to hold cup, and I hope I remember all the taichin because this is like total different stuff. And if not, we'll pull out a translator here and we'll figure it out. What did the woman of Shachan Siv say? Good gamo mekacha. If you take away the bone or teeth, talk about an older person, the cheeks fall in because the teeth, there's either missing teeth or a cheekbone is missing. If you're holding at that point, then you can put the water back in the kettle that pours it. Other people say that at that point, the water, you're old, frail, everything, you're cold, and everything is what's it called? The body needs body heat, and the fluid in the body is warmer than the body. A whole thing like the water in Antiche. There's different Meforshim to explain this. It's like basically they were saying, cry for the person that's getting old and passing away. That's the idea. What does he say? Yeah.
Cut the bone from the tooth. Bring water to the kettle.
So the water, instead of going away from the kettle, is going back to the kettle. And the shama, you're done. You're going back. Some will explain it this way. And the woman of Shachan Siv said the next thing. What did it say? A toif, wrap around, v'kasu, and cover tuli, the mountains. The Rami Ova basically said someone passed away and he was some learned person, some very VIP person. They said cover the mountains, cover everyone in mourning because some great person passed away. The woman of Shachan Siv said, Shayol Itztila Shayol Itztila de Milaisa, put on, Shayol is put on, a garment of milesa of fine silk, levar choylin, for a person that's free, the shalimus vade, that his garment is full. Idea here is, they say the idea here is, when some people teach it this way, that when someone loses, I believe this is just the one that's talking, when someone loses money, it is he wishes on himself rather death than living in poverty. What does it say there?
It says the coffin is rolled with fine silk to free a man to a free man whose provisions
Provisions are depleted.
provisions are depleted.
Yeah, so the
There's no
coffin is better for someone. The death is better for someone that loses all provisions, everything that he has. Death is better than living.
Shrino is Mohabna Rebbe, that's all I can tell you.
You look at the things differently. Amar said, the woman again said something in a riddle. Rohit, someone runs, he rushes, Venofil Ama and he falls at the crossing. Vizufte Yosef, and basically he passes away and he keeps falling while passing away. He doesn't have even what to pass away with, they say. Vizufte Yosef, then you have to go make a charity and a fundraiser and what's it called to support the family. Basically, all these type of things that they said about people dying.
Yosef and he borrows.
They've written life insurance.
Crossing
So I'll pick more to get life insurance.
Bitcoin.
At the crossing he borrows.
Yeah, so even at the moment that he crosses over to the other world, he has to borrow money because they can't even pay for his own kvuda. The Amar said, this woman said again, this woman couldn't talk clear. Let call that to speak, Achna, that's what then around we don't even know what the city is. Achna, Taga, brothers that are shutfim in their business, they are partners. Is azbazgi midviki. They get checked. How do we know someone is honest? They get checked in their merchandise. Like they say that the Mashal thing explains that when how do you check out a person if the person is good? The kisoi, the koisoi, the kasoi. With his money, how does he handle money? The koisoi, how much he can handle a drink, and when he drinks, what happens? And Bekase, when he gets angry, this is how you check out a person. This is how you get an idea of the personality.
The money one is like he gives a lot of tzedakah,
Or how he handles it. Is he a guy that wastes money? Is he a guy that just?
Okay.
And basically, the idea they're saying here is that someone that where was this? They are being checked, not the fact that they are shutfim, that they are brothers. They're being checked how honest they are in business. The woman of Shachatziva also would say, Moisa ki Moisa. Everyone dies. Everyone is going to be dead at the end. Yeah, everyone dies. So one death, another death, they're all the same. But the difference is how much pain is someone going to have, and that is up to you. That is up to the person. The person, what he does when he's alive, is what gets added on. Umadin and the pain and the bad that happens to him. Chibulia. This is an addition. This is an addition to his dying. You die. Everyone dies. But how you're gonna die, how much pain you're gonna have, it depends on you. That's a pshat today. So what does it say?
One death is like another. Suffering is the interest payment.
Oh, so yeah, that's the idea. The suffering is the interest, not what you the death itself, but this is already what you accumulated over your lifetime. Tanya.
Sweet, you like this stuff, huh? This is up your alley.
So kind of to this. Okay, we're done with all these women of Shach and Siv. May they rest in peace. Tanya Meya said, Toiv the leches al beis ava. What does the pasuk say? It's better to go to a house of Avel rather than going to a house of Mishta, it's a Simcha. What does the pasuk continue? Ba'ashu soif, because this is the end. Kol ha'odem v'chayit libay, and the living should put to heart. Before, when I was in Vienna just now, someone made a Shalom Zachal for his Einikol Friday night, and we were all tired of make it. Was a close friend, and Friday before Shabbos, that person that made a Shalom Zachal for his Einikol, his brother passed away. So he was sitting Shiva on Motzei Shabbos. So as he walked into the house, it was basically Toiv Lechas Beis Ol Beis Mishnah. My father says that because the pasuk says already that it's better to go to be Menachem Avil than go to Beis Mishnah. But I did hear a vote. That someone. What's talking about? Why is it better to go to a Beis Avil? Why is it better to go to Menachem Avil, console someone than going to Beis Mishnah? What's pshat?
Because the Beis Avil is like another suffering is the interest payment.
Okay, we're done with all these women of Shach and Siv. They may they rest in peace. Tanya, Meya said, Toiv the leches al beis ava. What does the pasuk say? says, because what does it say? The pasuk says, "Ki soif b'asho soif kol adam." This is the end of a person. So the text differently. When you have a simcha that you have to go to, if you don't make it, what do you tell the Baal Simcha? I'm so sorry, I couldn't make it. It's Hashem next simcha. You're not going to tell that someone is saying good morning. I'm sorry, I couldn't Menachem Avel. You're Hashem by the next one. I'm not going to say that. So therefore, go to the Beis Avel, finish whatever you have to do, and by the simcha you'll go to the next simcha. Of that I heard. Okay. The Shem Oimedai being V'Gula, I heard it from Rishvat. So
it's a whole different spin.
in a Beis Avel, I heard it. Okay. Zog the Gemara weiter. So, they don't know if this is something that they used to say, but basically, what is the chai yitin aliboy? What is the chai giving and putting on his heart? What is he accepting on himself? What does yitin aliboy mean? My chai yitin aliboy, but exactly dvam shel misa. He accepts in himself word of death to make tshuva and stuff like that. The yisped, basically, he tells himself the yisped is sabdunei. Someone that does a spadim, someone will do a spadim for him. The kavlin, if he is involved in making sure people get buried, the kavlin, he has a promise that they will bury him. The yitan itanunim, I forgot what the itanunim means. If he speaks about, second.
You're looking it up now.
I think if he pays or if he Yitan itanunai. What does that mean? I forgot, Pasha.
If one carries the dead, we will carry him.
Okay, if he basically if he pays for others to be
If he carries the dead, then someone else will carry him.
you will support him. The Yidal Idalunai, if he speaks about, if he cries about the person that passed away, the only people will cry for him. The opposite, the Lo Yidal, if someone is quiet and doesn't make a big deal out of it, Idaluna people will cry about him. Because it says, Ketoiv, it's good, it's better. Malach Alei, it's better if someone tells you, go up, rise up to something else, meaning that you're keeping yourself quiet. You're not holding high of yourself. And someone else tells you, go up, that is better than you doing it yourself. So if someone holds himself holds himself humble, is better, and people will talk about him. People will give him covet. Tana Rabbanan. An interesting story over here. When the sons of Rabbi Shmuel passed away, there was two sons of Rabbi Shmuel passed away. There's two. We know there's Rabbi Shmuel Kohen Gadol. This is not the Rabbi Shmuel Kohen Gadol. This one was Rabbi Shmuel ben Elisha, but it's not Rabbi Shmuel Kohen Gadol, and he was friendly with the following Tanoim that we're going to mention. And when his sons passed away, he was broken. Two children passed away, and he was sitting shiva, and there was one child after another child. So four elders came in to be Menachem Avel. Rabbi Tarfon, Rabbi Seglili, Rabbi Loz ben Azariah, Rabbi Akiva. I was trying to look up if there's any significance if the way they were written, because usually we know in the Agada Pesach, coming up Pesach, there's a whole story, and it was written. There was a Kohen, a Nasi, a Kohen, and Rabbi Akiva was the Ben Gadim. So here's apparently the way they spoke. It's kind of the way they spoke, because Rabbi Tarfon was a Kohen, Rabbi Loz ben Azariah was also a Kohen, I believe. And Weissagli was not a Nasi, but I don't know. He was. Anyways, Abtafan told them as they walked in. Abtafan told them, you should know that Rabbi Shmuel is a Chacham Godly. He's a very wise person. Ubaki ba'Agadis, and he's very knowledgeable in Agada in all the different midrashim, psukim. And therefore, you have halacha that you're allowed to speak to a mourner in Torah. So don't start a whole conversation where everyone is going to add their spice and it's going to become a conversation. He's going to have to join the conversation and learn. He's not allowed to do that. Not one of you should enter your friend's words. Let everyone speak on their own, which would look like they're talking, they're doing a nicham avelim, they're consoling, but not that it becomes a whole conversation. If it becomes a whole conversation, he's going to feel compelled to join the conversation of learning Torah. So they said, okay. And Rabbi Akiva said, I'm going to be the last to speak. Pastor Rabbi Shmuel, Rabbi Shmuel said as they walked in, we know the halacha is also that you're not allowed to start speaking to someone that's sitting shiva in the morning. You have to wait till they speak to you. So Rabbi Shmuel started and he said, V'amar, and he said, Rabu avoinoisov, his avedos, his sins are great, the many, talking about himself. Why? Because his kids passed away. Tachfu avelov, his avelos, his mourning was one on top of the other. Hitriach laboisav pam rishoina. He was matriach. He was made them come one time to be Menachem Avil, v'shniya, and a second time to be Menachem Avil.
So he's speaking about himself.
Yes, about himself. That's how he started. So now Rabtav answered him, but he says no. It says in the pasuk by Nadav Avihu. It says a very interesting thing. We know we're coming out to the same time. Moshe Rabbeinu was doing the right, picking up the Mishkan and taking it down. A couple of days. Comes the Yom Shmini Lulim, the 8th day. Which day was it? It was Chodesh Nisan. Now the avodah of Adon HaKohen and Nadav Avihu and Lazav Sama started. The first day that they started, that day Nadav Avihu passed away. So they didn't manage to be Kahanim for too long. The concept of Kahanim was only started as soon as they worked in the Mishkan. They didn't manage to be a Kohen for too long. And it says actually they only did one mitzvah. And what does the Eibush say? After the Eibush, they passed away, Nadav Avihu, they said, the Eibush tells Adon and Elazar and Sama, it tells them, you don't cry because you're Kahanim. But v'acheichem kol beis Yisrael yivkos seva. All the Yidden have to cry. Why do they have to cry? Because they're Kahanim. You can't mourn, so the Yidden have to mourn for you. How long were the Kahanim? They weren't even a day. They weren't Kahanim even for a day. Well, Advam kal v'choymel. U'man Nadav Avihu sheli oseh l'mitzvah achas. They only did one mitzvah. And the Meforshim obviously right away explain it. It doesn't mean they didn't do any mitzvahs. They did many mitzvahs. But to consider them Kahanim, they only did one mitzvah. Which mitzvah was it? They brought the blood to Aharon. That's the only thing they did in the Mishkan. And they became Kahanim. And now we say that everyone has to mourn, and you can mourn. But everyone has to mourn, and all they did was Kahanim for a day. So definitely your sons that were tzadikim, for sure we have to cry for them. So don't...
They were older than Bar Mitzvah.
Yeah, don't bemoan yourself. Don't take it hard in saying that my Avedas caused it. No, they were tzaddikim for whatever reason they decided. They went. Like not of Avidah, they were tzaddikim and they went. And they're in the same level. And much more than that. Nana basically, the next one spoke up. Basically, and he said like this. The Pasuk said, this was about, in Zion, this is about the son of Yadavam. No, this is Yadavam himself. What does it say? V'sav Deloi, called Yisrael, all the Yidden did a spade him, eulogized, v'kavu oiseh, and they buried him, and they buried the Yadavam. He was zoiche to Kvuda. And we know that Yadavam ben Avad was not such a tzaddik. It was quite the opposite. But the Dvam Kavachoyma, this is the son of Yadavam. Oma Avio ben Yadavam. Is the Avio the son of Yadavam? Shloi asel Yadavam echotoiv. You only did one thing good. You only did one thing that we know that he did was good. And because of that, he was zoiche to Kvuda, and he was zoiche to Aspeidim, Dichsiv. Yan nimtze Yadavam toiv. That in the house of Yadavam they found one thing, which was Avio ben Yadavam. The son of Shmuel that did so many good things. For sure we're going to cry for them. For sure we're going to mourn them. And they're not the same. Don't worry, that's not your Avedas. What good thing did the son of Yadavam do? There's two opinions. Papa Chadam, one says, his father put Yadavam was the one that famously put guards on the roads to the Shalayim. He didn't want anyone to cross into Judea, into the part of Shevet Yehuda. He didn't want him to go to Shalayim to be Makif Kabbanis. Pesach. And he left, he was also, himself was a guard on one of the roads. And he left his position to go to be Makif Kabbanis. So Chadam Hashabit Mishmar Toy, his Mishmaris, his guard, he left, and he went up to Chadam Hashabit Padas, he was Mavatal all the guards and let all the Eden go up. And that one thing that he did, which was huge, caused him that everyone eulogized him and he was brought to Kevel Yisrael.
The
Padasais were the guards that Yadavam, his father, put on the pathways, on the crosswalks, and on the forks of the road, that the Eden should not go by the legal, and he was mevatel, he took them away. It says, you will die in peace. And this is said about, what does the pasuk say? This is said about Tzidkiyahu. He said, you will die in peace. This pasuk means what? That in the Tzidkiyahu. Second, remember what this means.
Tzidkiyahu was no good.
Yeah, we only found that the one that he saved is Yirmiyahu from the what's it called? Yeah. So, the pasuk says that I forgot what that means. Apologize. It says that in the Rashi it says that the Malachim, they would burn all their vessels that they used. So they will do the same to you. You will die in peace, and you will do anything they did for the Malachim before you. But he did one mitzvah. What was the mitzvah that we know about? He took a deal from the not mud. It was lime pit. Definitely, he did one mitzvah when he was zoicha to a peaceful death. For sure, the kids of Ishmael that didn't do that and they were zoicha, they passed away, and it's not your fault. It says a pasuk that day the eulogy of Yerushalayim will be greater than the eulogy of Hadrimon, and we don't know what it means. If there's no Targum, we wouldn't understand what it means. The High God, we wouldn't know what this pasuk means. What does the Targum say? Be'idno, on that time, Hahu Yazgi Misbed of Yerushalayim Kemisbed of the Achov. The Misbed of Yerushalayim will be as great as the Misbed, as the Hesped, or the eulogy of Achov Bad Omri, the Kotil Yossi Hadrimon, the Achov that was killed by Hadrimon Bat Tavarimon. And like the Hesped eulogy of Shiur Ba'omen, which was killed by Padai, the one that was limping. And basically, Achav wasn't a tzaddik. Achav was the one who famously killed all the Nevi'im. And he had a Hesped, he had a huge Hesped. How was his Zoiche? He only did one good thing. We'll see in a moment what is. Oh, here it says the Chsiv. Melech was propped up in the chariot. What did he do? He went into war with Adam, and they killed him. An arrow came and pierced him, and he was worried that if he falls down, and all the Edens will see that the king, the leader, is done with, then everyone will start running. And we said at the beginning of running is the end of the war. And he wanted to avoid the Yidden bloodshed. So he decided he's going to, with pain and everything, he's bleeding out, he's going to prop himself up as if he's fully in full capabilities. And that's how he continued the war. And the Yidden weren't slaughtered as they would have if he had died on. So because he did that little thing, and his whole life he was not such a tzaddik, and he was still zoiche for a Hesped, it was still he had a eulogy, a huge eulogy. For sure that they were zoiche, they're tzadikim, and they are good people, and it's not your fault. What exactly? So we go back for a second here. It said that Tzidkiyahu, it says he will die in peace. So the Gemara, returned to the Avamid and said, it says Tzidkiyahu b'shalom tamuz, you'll die in peace. The Nebuchadnezzar poked out the eyes of Tzidkiyahu. He didn't die in peace. It wasn't really peaceful. He died later, but he wasn't a peaceful. He couldn't call it a peaceful death. He was blind. Amalei, Hacham Abichanan said, she made Nes Nebuchadnezzar b'Yomov. Nebuchadnezzar died before Tzidkiyahu. He thought that he will die before Nebuchadnezzar, and he saw his archenemy, the one who made him blind, die before him. And it says, when Nebuchadnezzar died, they released all the people that were in captivity, including Tzidkiyahu. And the day after, he passed away. He was not in captivity, he was peaceful, and he saw his enemy die before him. It says by Yeshio, what was by Yeshio? His father was not a good king. He decided he was a good king. He did everything right. And it was at the end, the Eden were sinning again and again, and he was trying to do things right. And then he had the Eibusha told him to go fix the Beis Hamikdash. He went up, and they were fixing Beis Hamikdash. And they found a Sefer Torah that was hidden, and they opened up the Sefer Torah, and the Sefer Torah was in a place where it says that bad nevuah about the kingdom of Yeshio. So the Sefer that read it came running to Yeshua and says, "Look what I found! I found a Sefer Torah. We found this hidden in Beis Hamikdash somewhere, and this is what it says. This is what I opened up to. Like it must be a sign." And he took it to heart, and he went out to tell people to make tshuva and everything. But it was already late in the game, and he didn't have sinned for too long. And the Eibusha told him, they went to a Neviah, and she told him, yes, the Yidden will suffer great hardship. They will die, the Beis Hamikdash will be destroyed, and all these things will happen. However, you, Yeshua, because you were good, it's not going to be in your times. I will gather you in with your father, so you will die peacefully. And you will die peacefully. And then it says, okay, very nice, peaceful death, but that's not how he died. The Ksiv, it says, the archers threw arrows into the king Melech Yeshio. And not only did he die a non-peaceful death, it was even worse. Why did it says many multiple archers you threw arrows in him? They threw so many arrows that it became like a sieve, like something sifts out a sieve. That's how many holes he had in his body. That's not a peaceful death. And again, his peaceful death was that the Beis Hamikdash was not destroyed in his time. Which said before the Bishmal, he was started. The Menachemim, the people that come and console, are not allowed to start speaking until the Oval starts speaking. Shenemar, first Eoy spoke, and then Eliphaz Atamani answered him, which we see that Eoy was sitting Shiva for his daughters, for whatever he was sitting Shiva for, and he had to speak first. Abba Abavo, Minayin, the Oval, Shemese Voish. How do we know that the Oval sits in front and sits ahead of him? As we'll see today, they sit somewhere and everyone sits around him. Shenema, Efcha, Darkom, V'oshiv, Roish, V'eshken Kimelech, Bigdud, Kasher Avelim Yenachem. They will sit, V'eshev Roish, they will sit at the head of the table, and they will rest, they will dwell like a king within a group, with an army, when Avelim Menachem, when they will console the Avelim. The pasuk actually, it says that the Avelim Menachem, that the Avelim, the mourners, will console someone else. In Nachem Achrinim Ashma, it means they console someone. That doesn't make sense. They have to be consoled. In Nachem, he actually really did Nachem. When the Avelim are being consoled, they will sit at the head of the table. Stop here, and we'll finish. We'll mention next week, and then the B'siyum will be over.
Finish this week.
Huh?
We're finished this week.
Yeah,